And a very good morning to you. It's Christmas Eve, Monday the 24th of December 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Lincolnshire, boys and girls, from Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire. The excitement is building. Today I am master of merriment, boys and girls. Master of merriment. Even more excitement. This means nothing to you, but there's a new computer. Well, not a new computer. An old computer I dug out from the cupboard that hadn't been switched on for about 7 years. That's next to me this morning, running the messages. So we'll see if they all come through this morning, because we've had a bit of trouble. Here's the old. I must show you the old laptop. This is the old laptop that was running the messages in here. I mean, it's really. Look at it. Look at that. Look how thick that is, dear. Isn't it funny when things used to be thicker, ladies? Do you know what I mean, girls? Now you go out, you get one home and it's all thin and you can't feel a damn thing, can you? Oh, it's awful. Well, good morning to you. Are you all ready? Everyone ready? There were plenty of people not ready yesterday, but I'll come to that in a minute. Great journey up here, I have to say, on Saturday night. Sorry I couldn't be with you yesterday. I was ended up being a little bit too busy yesterday. But Saturday night, of course, I was at work first of all, and then I came straight up here. Absolutely no problem at all getting here Saturday night. All the roadworks have stopped, especially the one on the A1M, which goes on forever, and it can divert you all over the place. So exactly 2.5 hours to get here on Saturday night. Sailed through all the green lights in London. There was no problem at all. I sat there. No sandwiches, though, because Maureen wasn't there, of course, so I had no sandwiches to eat. Fortunately, I spotted a little Tesco's place, and I bought some sandwiches and a little bottle of orange to eat on the way up. Sailed through all the green lights, as I say. I had quite a lot to bring into the caravan when I got here. And by the time I stopped mucking, I was doing stuff. I thought, well, I'll install the new computer while I say install. You know, all you've got to do is plug it in and check it works via the Wi-Fi and everything else. There was a little bit of a problem, but I think I've sorted that out now. See how it goes. So by the time I installed that, watched a bit of telly, had a cup of tea, and it was 10 to 4. I looked at the clock and it was 10 to 4, and I thought, where did that go? Because I got up here actually, no, it wasn't that long, 1. I got up here about 2:30, so I was up about an hour and a quarter just doing stuff. That worked out quite well, really. I got in, and my sister and niece had been round here and put a few little Christmas decorations up, which I have done a little video of, but I'll have to show you that possibly tomorrow. I'm hoping to be with you Christmas morning. There you are. Whether or not you'll be there, I don't know. You'll probably be too busy cooking or doing something, a little bit of cooking, something like that, you know, opening presents. Perhaps you're with your children, or maybe you are on your own and you want to spend a little Christmas morning with me. Well, I hope to be with you tomorrow morning, round about the same time as today, okay? Because I've got nothing to do tomorrow, of course, Christmas morning, other than go around my sister's and spend the entire day around there. Now, usually, I do have a lot of trouble with my breathing around there because of her 2 dogs, her 2 wonderful dogs. But yesterday, I had one of those little antihistamine tablets. I thought they were just for hay fever, but they're all for all sorts of different, you know, what you call them when you get sneezing and all that business. What's that called? Oh, there's another word that's gone out my head. Have you noticed this is happening more and more? I'm sure it's the dementia setting in. What is it? You know, what's that word? Allergies. That's it. Allergies. I'm sure those pills must be suitable for other sort of allergies as well as just the hay fever, I guess. So I had one of those yesterday morning, and I didn't cough or sneeze at all. Not at all. And yet other times I've gone in there in 10 minutes and the breathing is frightening. If you've ever had any breathing problems yourselves for whatever reason, you'll know exactly what I mean when you have breathing, and it's absolutely frightening. Consequently, my brother-in-law was telling me yesterday he nearly died at the weekend. Yeah, he was eating something apparently, and it went accidentally down his windpipe, and he couldn't cough it up. And he thought, and he went to breathe out again, and there was nothing left to breathe out, and he couldn't breathe in. And his daughter, my niece, whacked him on the back, and and it came out. That's bloody dangerous, that, isn't it? You can't even eat anymore, dear. If not being attacked by drones and terrorists, dear, you know, we can't eat either. Things going down your windpipe. Do be careful, girls. Never know what might end up down that windpipe if you're not careful. Don't breathe in at the wrong moments. Huh? So, yesterday morning... hang on, let's just read some of your messages coming through this morning. Let's go to your messages. Good morning to Shania. Now, I'm reading it off here, okay? We're not sure if all the messages are coming through on this computer, so I'll read what I've got, and hopefully, if yours doesn't come up now, okay, have a look at the bottom of the list. Okay, I'm only going to go to the bottom of the list as it is now. If yours doesn't get read out in the next minute, try again and let me know that the message didn't come out, all right? So here we go. Shania, as far as I can see, you're the first person getting the messages in this morning on the Isle of Wight. Good morning, Shania. They just had their Christmas party on Vectis International Radio. I saw the picture of you, your brother and your dad. That lovely family picture. Oh, you'll have such a nice... You're so lucky to have such a wonderful dad. You really are, Shania. Happy Christmas to you, darling. Good morning to Liam Manning. Morning, Liam. Paul and Lou are there in Birmingham. Good morning on the YouTube. Chris Manzar, good morning. Merry Christmas Eve to you. Hayley is there. Hayley's got a bird in the oven this morning, haven't you, Hayley? I saw your little posts. Did you have to push it in? Was it a fat bird? Was it a great big fat, poor little turkey? It was just running around a few weeks ago. I wonder how fresh they are. You know the frozen ones? I reckon they've been in storage for a couple of years. Make sure you thaw those turkeys out. They are full of poison. I wonder how many people die through food poisoning on Christmas Day. You remember that when you're eating your bits of dead animals. All right? Morning, Hayley. Mark Jones. Poor Mark is at work today, so no need to rock myself to sleep tonight. Rock me gently, rock-a-bye. Are you going to be away in a manger? Are you going to be in a manger later, Mark? Away in a manger, little Mark in a bed. Little Mark, he lays down his sweet head on the pillow. The stars in the bright sky look down where he lay. And little old Mark is asleep, or so they say. Look at that! I'm a songwriter as well. I think I could possibly write a song for next year's Eurovision Song Contest. Ba, 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 ba. We love it, dear. Morning. Morning to Diane Jebb. Adrian Richardson says happy moaning from Earth. Earth calling. Earth calling. We take out the little potatoes and then we smash them all to pieces. Ah. Do you remember that advert? 1970s one, that one. Gosh, they were good, they were, weren't they? Andy, hello, Andy. Bye-bye. Katie Ann Patterson is in the house. Good morning to Colin, Julian Clark. Turkey on shortly. We celebrate Christmas Day today in Spain. Have a great time and season's greetings to everyone. And holla to our Spanish viewers. Millions of people. This is Spain's most watched television program now. Isn't that amazing? This is the world's most... Well, you are watching at the moment the world's most popular television program. At this moment, we are television people. Myself and my brother-in-law, we are television people, dear. Television people. Morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds. Ray Reynolds is in the house. Good morning, Ray. All right, sunshine. Bring me sunshine. Bring me smiles. Don't forget the two Morecambe and Wise black and white programmes are going to be on BBC Two. I don't know if they're going to be... I heard they were going to be colourised. I'm not sure. So they might be either in black and white or in colour. BBC Two colour. An hour. Test films. That'll be on tomorrow. On Boxing Day. The BBC, the Morecambe and Wise old programmes that they discovered that you and I will never have seen. Isn't that exciting? That will probably be my highlight of Christmas, which should have been Doctor Who. But some idiot at the BBC has decided to shove it on New Year's Day. What's all that about? Stupid. Don't understand. Good morning. Santa is coming tonight down your chimney. If you've got central heating, he comes down the little pipes and comes out of one of the thermostats. Yes, he does. Yes, he does exist. Ding dong merrily on high. Santa's bells are ringing. I've got jingle bells in my car. I might get them out just for you tomorrow. I might get my jingle bells out for the car. Santa is coming! Ah! I'm so excited. Isn't it exciting? Good morning to nephew Gary Butler. Good morning, Gary. He's back home for Christmas. Driving home for Christmas. Yes. Good morning to the delightful Ferrell Joseph, singer extraordinaire. He's been selling his CDs and he's been working very hard, and he's been on the radio as well. Radio Woking International. He was on. I didn't know there was a radio station in Woking. That's not far from me, is it? Good morning, Ferrell. Good morning to Shaheen. Good morning, Shaheen. Shania's going to be here tomorrow morning. Oh, Shania, then it's worth me being here. Just for you. Just for you and your little family, lovey. It's a shame, actually, I would have had the phones set up tomorrow, but I can't do that from in here. I mean, I could set up the phones and the people watching the show would be able to hear the callers, but I wouldn't, because I've got nothing to plug into the back of the sort of mini mixer in there. In here, I've got to tell you, in here, all this stuff in here is really old. It's old gear that has been shoved away in a cupboard for a few years, and it just goes to show you, never chuck anything away. Is your dad like that, Shania? Is he one of those people who puts things in the loft and like 10 years later, oh, I've got one of those in the loft, and he just produces this thing from nowhere? Marvellous, dear. Don't chuck anything away, ever, ever, ever. Andy, yes, allergies, that's the word I was looking for, thank you. Adrian says, you always breathe very well in Central Station and the health spa or chariots. You never choke in it because the air is damp. It's always good to have a damp air, Adrian. Damp air. Do you know, I haven't been to chariots for years now, for about a year or more. Isn't it terrible? I don't know how they managed to remain open. Martin Edwards, good morning, Martin Edwards. Shania's singing carol churches tonight. Oh, are you? Now, I'm not sure what I'm doing tonight. I'll tell you why. There is a local church to Boston where I went yesterday morning, actually, which was quite nice. Very old priest in there. And some old dear playing the organ. And I have to say, playing the organ very well. She was, some old dear playing the organ in there. And that was all right. The only thing is they only have one English mass. On a Sunday, they have one English mass and 3 in Polish. Right? Now, midnight mass, I was going to go midnight mass there. It would be in a Catholic church. Usually, I go to St. Peter's in Woodhall Spa, which is okay. You know, my sister would go there with me. My nephew has gone in the past. He didn't go last year because he was pissed. I mean, he was absolutely comatose. My younger nephew. So he didn't go last year, but the year before he went, and he was pissed when he got to the church, dear. Honestly, it was like this. I was watching him while I was singing, "Oh, come all ye faithful." I was watching him, this guy like this. While he was standing there, I thought, oh dear, any minute now he's going to chuck up in the aisle. But that's okay, because it was just the Church of England church, Shania. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm dreadful this morning, aren't I? I'm dreadful. So that's where we usually go. But I've always felt a little bit, you know, I should be in a Catholic church on a Christmas Eve. So I was going to go to the one that I went to yesterday morning, St. Mary's in Boston. Go and have a look at the pictures. It's a nice little place. It's only a small place. But then I looked it up, midnight mass in Polish. Well, it's no good to me. You know, I don't suppose I could learn Polish in a few hours before I get there. Although, it has to be said, it doesn't really matter. You know, because you would go and you would know instinctively where the bits are. You stand up and sit down and listen and what have you, don't you? You know anyway. Because I've done that before in a foreign country. I've gone to a mass in foreign. Rome, actually. Italy. It was in Italian. And I couldn't understand a word. But you know where to stand up and everything. You just know. But there is one in Lincoln as well. So I might look up that one. Lincoln is a bit further. That's going to be a 45-minute journey, that one. 45 minutes, whereas the Boston one is 20 minutes. But I think I might have a look at that one and see how that is. Also, we have Lincoln, the cathedral up the road. Again, about 45 minutes away. I might see about that one. I'll ask my sister if she might want to have a little trip to that one. All right. Good morning to Chris Manzar. It looks like he's falling asleep, are you? Go get yourself a pillow, dear. Don't fall asleep before the end of the show. That's very rude. Rude, dear. If you were doing a show, I probably wouldn't... Well, I might do. You know, I'm not quite sure. I might do. Katie says, can we not talk about eating turkeys? No, it's a terrible thing, Katie. Those poor little things are running around at this, you know, have been, and now they've had their heads cut off and they're shoved in people's ovens. It's outrageous. How would you like it if you had your head cut off and shoved in an oven? Exactly. There we are. Colourised. Thank you, Ray. Ray Reynolds informs me that the Morecambe and Wise will be colourised on Boxing Day. So we are looking forward to it. Show your jumper off. Okay, there we are. That's it. Look. It's got a little bauble. That's an actual bauble. Look. In 3D now. Look, in 3D, 2D, 3D, 2D. And there's a little penguin on there. Do you like that? Pengu. Pengu, penguin, pengu. I don't know what it's called. A little penguin on there. Good morning to Riderback. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Hello to Bart Hannaford. Welcome to our show, Bart. Who are you talking? Are you on another website? Good morning. Riderback is on Vaughan. Yes, we're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Vaughan Live, and Twitch, and Periscope. So we're on all those at the same time, okay? If you want to have a look at my Facebook thing, it's Chris Reardon UK. Oh, and on Twitter as well, Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK if you want to join us on there, Riderback. And then you'll see the other messages. I see all the messages, okay? Depending on what platform you're on, you will only see the messages that are on that platform. So you will only see the messages on Vaughan Live, which is usually just 1 or 2 people, okay? Most messages are on Facebook Live. The people on Facebook Live will be able to see all the messages on Facebook Live, but they won't see any of the others. And again, the same with YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the other people on YouTube, but not everyone else everywhere else. So it's only me that can see them all in this special message and thing that we're on there. No, Ryder, no, it's not a recording. No, you're not watching it. Well, you might be watching a recording later on, but if you check the time in the UK, I don't know where you are, but in the UK at the moment, it's 10:30, just coming up to 25 to 10. So if it's 25 to 10 in the UK, then you know you're watching it live. If it's another time, then you're watching a recording. All right, sir. So welcome along. Xmas Day. Hayley says it's foggy. Do you know, I haven't looked outside. Let's have a little quick peek outside. Is it foggy? Oh, yes, it is. It's a little bit, isn't it? It's a little bit foggy out there this morning. Yes. Use your phone to translate from Polish into English and midnight mass. That will go down well. You can't get your phone out at mass, dear. That's outrageous. Outrageous. Good morning to Jake Riley. Morning, Jake. Welcome to our show. Adrian is excited because tomorrow he's going to see 2 queens on the telly. I think she's going to do a little bit about Brexit, isn't she? Well, not necessarily mentioning Brexit directly, is she? I think she's going to sort of, say... yes, I've seen it this morning on BBC News. It was something like, if someone's got a different decision to your own, you need to respect their decision as well as your own. And that's something that's changed, in particular this last 2 years since the Brexit thing. People don't respect the other person's decision. If you for yourself, who did you vote? I voted for Remain. And then they start, shouting and screaming at them. They don't respect that decision. And the same, of course, the other way. If you selected to leave the European Union, you were shouted all sorts of nasty things, including racist, which I really, really do object to. People shouting that at me. I'll tell you that now. It's just disgusting. Why can't you just accept the other person's view and be done with it? Don't understand that. Don't know how we got to that, but never mind. Jake says it's foggy at his house as well. Oh, is it really? Yeah. Well, the fog will clear soon. We've got some nice weather coming today. A little bit of sunshine. Certainly not cold, is it? Eh? It's not cold at all. Good morning to Timmy Thomas. Morning, Timmy boy. Timmy is just getting his 2 gammon on and cooking 3 turkeys in the morning. 3? 4 dead bodies in your house. No, 5. 2 gammons and 3 turkeys. That's 5 dead animals. I mean, how many places like a murder scene in yours? We'll have to get that woman round. What's her name? You know the lady in what's her name? She was in Bed Knobs and Booms. Angela Lansbury. We're going to get her around your house. Who done it? Dun, 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 dun. Looking forward to midnight mass, and we host a drinks party after for a couple of hours. I love every bit of Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and Merry Christmas to you as well. All right. Hello to Christina Ewing. Where have you been, dear? I thought I'd upset you. Did I offend you, Christina? I hope so. I do hope so that I offend you. I really do. Good. So as I say, yesterday morning, I went to St. Mary's in Boston. Nice little place. And it's right next to the river. It's next to the river Witham River. I think it's the Witham River it's next to. And there's an old windmill on the other side of the water as well. Really old-fashioned windmill. I haven't seen it turning, whether or not it turns or not. But there's an old-fashioned windmill there. That was nice. And after church, I thought I'll fill up my car. Now, so it's 10:30 now. Mass finished about 10:30, so I come out to church. And Asda is just around the corner. I don't really know my way around here too well yet, so I put in the sat-nav, Asda, and off it went. Got round the corner. Oh, my God, you want to see the queue of cars at 10:30 in the morning trying to get into Asda. Oh, my God. You've never seen anything like it. Now, fortunately, the queue finished when I got there. The queue finished at the roundabout. So as I came round and I got to the roundabout, if you go straight onto Asda, that's where the queue started. Trying to get into the car park. And I thought, I can't be bothered with it. I still had about a quarter of a tank of fuel there. So I went round the roundabout and came back here to the caravan. To our Lincolnshire television studio complex. And that's where I am now. I was sitting in there, standing up, waiting to get petrol. Then I put my presents in the car, took them round to my sister's. That was nice. On the way round to my sister's, I popped into my niece's hairdresser's, and she force-fed me salt and vinegar crisps, boys and girls. I was force-fed half a packet of salt and vinegar crisps, yes. There she was, sitting there cutting this little boy's hair. He's about 14. My niece appears, and you'll know what I mean, boys, by this. My niece appears to have become a schoolboy crush. Absolutely, yes. I've seen 3 of them now. 3 of them where she's cutting their hair, and you can see it in their eyes that they love my niece. Absolutely. There was one occasion, a few months ago, I was in there, and she'd cut this boy's hair. He was about 13, I think. 13 or 14. And he's got off the chair, and I could just see it in his eyes. He had a crush for my niece, who's like, 13, 23, 17 years older than some of these boys. So then he says goodbye, and she says goodbye. 2 minutes later, he's come back with a bunch of flowers. 13 years old. And yesterday was another boy in the chair yesterday, and I could just tell by the way, he fancies you. So my niece is becoming the schoolboy crush around her area of Woodhall Spa. Do pop in and take her some flowers. She never says no to a bunch of flowers. I'll tell you that now, but I'm sorry, boys. She's very, very happily married with 3 delightful children. Oh, well, I say they're delightful until they start attacking me, which they often do. There's baby James, who's very good at doing this, which I taught him. Uncle Chris taught him that. He's very, very good at that. And then there's Emily, who's just on another planet altogether. She's 5 or 4 now, I think. And then there's George, who's 6, who's a bit violent. He attacks me. He attacks me like, I don't know, not. Is it a teenage ninja? No, a ninja warrior. That's not a turtle, incidentally. That's something else. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's a ninja warrior. He attacks. Suddenly he goes, attack, and just jumps on me. I don't know what all that's about. Christina is back in Portsmouth, aren't you? Good. Hope you had a nice holiday, Christina. Shania has gammon and a turkey. The gammon is in the slow cooker now. Wonderful devices, aren't they, Shania? Slow cookers. I wouldn't be without mine now. Oh, the beautiful food I've done in that. Slow cookers. Highly recommended. If you haven't got a present for someone, get them a slow cooker. And they're only about 30 quid. Slow cookers are dirt cheap. Very, very good. Katie, what is gammon? It's like ham. Ham. You're in America, aren't you, Kate? Oh, America or Australia, one of the two. So they probably call it something different there, Hayley, who's laughing her head off now. Shut up, Hayley. Gammon is like ham. It's ham, darling. Let's have a look. Adrian, if you can't use your phone translator, you may ask a bilingual Polish gentleman to translate it. If you can have him in your back row from behind you and give it to you, would that better? Pardon? We're at church to pray, dear, not to pick up boys. Don't judge me by your character. Thank you very much, Adrian. Christina went to Tesco yesterday. Each till had 20 people waiting in the queue. Oh, Lord, it's too many. Are you going to Portsmouth Cathedral, Christina? Where are you going to midnight mass? Yeah, Timmy's answering that there. Let's have a look. Am I coming through very quiet? It might be you. I'm looking at my levels. They look fairly high to me. Anyone else want a bit more volume? Can you tell me if I'm coming through quiet? Does anyone else want a bit more volume? Let me know. I don't usually take notice of just one person because often it's them that's not doing their thing right. But tell me if it's coming through a little bit quiet to everyone else. Midnight mass at 10 o'clock in Shania's church. Okay, yeah, a lot of people. Sometimes they do it at 8 o'clock midnight mass. Don't they? Not everyone does it at midnight. And she goes to her local church as well tonight at 6. That's interesting. Did you hear about the drone update? They may not even have been a drone. Really? Well, what would it have been then? Little spaceship or something like that? Might have been a spaceship. Adrian, looks like you got a problem there, mate. You need to turn your volume up. Now, I might be able to help you with that. Turn it down. Shut up, Hayley. You will be slapped. You will be slapped if I see you this week. You need to be slapped. Volume, if you've not got a little volume button on there, if that's full up, then try right-clicking or left-clicking on the little volume thing and see if it's there, okay? If that's full up, then right-click on it and you should bring up some sort of mixer. The playback level, just put them all at 10. All my stuff's at 10 in here. Not very loud, are they, computers? I've noticed that. Thank you, Andy, Hayley. No, they say it's all right. Good. Oh, you got two you're off to the Roman Cathedral thing in Portsmouth. Oh, you'll have a nice time there, won't you? Good. Let's have a look here. What else have I told you here? Yes, force-fed crisps. I told you about my niece. She's now become a schoolboy, the schoolboy crush here in Woodhall Spa. She absolutely has. Then went to my sister's, had a cup of tea and some of her homemade lemon drizzle cake. Oh, lemon drizzle cake, so nice. Made my sister's own little fair hands. Sat there and had a chat. And what did we do after that? Hang on a minute. Let me refer to my notes. Oh, here we are. Yes, came back here, had a bit of a tidy up, some tea. And then I went to bed yesterday afternoon for a little sleep, got up. And then we had our weekly trip to Skegness. Now, we've not been on a Sunday before. But we try to go once a week to Skegness. And there was nothing on the road. Nothing. I don't think we ever saw a car in front of us on the way there or back, come to that. Now, being a Sunday, of course, Aldi wasn't open afterwards. We usually come back via Aldi, but that's okay. So we got there. Very pleased to say the chip shop was open. So I had large chips with baked beans on the top. Then we walked along by the sea. I took a couple of lovely nighttime photos last night because it was a full moon. And I managed to get the moon. And there's a bit of water, and that's given me an idea, actually. So if we do a nighttime show, I'll probably insert that instead of the bit where the sun's rising. Nighttime moon over Skegness. It does look quite nice, but I can't do that from here. I'll have to do that back at the house in Bracknell. So I took a couple of photos there. Then we popped into McDonald's. We have chips in the chip shop, and McDonald's we have an ice cream. So we're sitting there. I've ordered an ice cream and, as it's Christmas, an apple pie. Okay? So Martin, my brother-in-law, he was going to have an apple pie. Now, he's got diabetes. So I'm able to use that against him occasionally. And in this case, have you got any apple pies, he said. He said, well, we've only got one left. And he said, oh, do you want that one, Chris? I don't mind. You can have that one. I said, well, that's a good idea because of your diabetes. He said, I like that. Thinking about me. I like that. So I had the apple pie. And while we were sitting there, there was a young couple, I suppose about 20, boy, girl. And they were, we have to say boy, we have to tell you what they are. Because it doesn't matter anymore, does it? You can have two girls walking, holding hands, doesn't matter anymore. Here we are in the modern era. You know, if I was to sit there with another man and we were cuddling and we had our tongues down each other's throat, doesn't matter anymore. No one bats an eyelid. Or would you? Or would you? Anyway, so boy and girl comes through. And we recognise them from being in the chip shop earlier. So they probably looked over at us and said, look at those three fat bastards sitting there having another meal. We just saw them in the chip shop. They'd only come in to use the toilet. That's why they weren't eating as well. So I sat there and had my ice cream, apple pie, another cup of tea. And that was it. And a very nice day indeed it was. Very, very nice day indeed. The McDonald's here in Skegness, they've got those screens, you know, where you ordered and touch things. Apparently, these things are covered in bits of poo. Did you know that? Wear gloves, dear. That's what the Queen does. Wear gloves. And they order things by touching, you know, touch, 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 touch. Order like that. But of course, it's only card payments. Now, what if you got cash? We are cash people, dear. We are television people with cash. Exactly, that's what we are. So we have to go to the little counter. And you always have to wait for someone to come. It's like they don't want you to pay with cash. Everyone has all these little kids. And it seemed to be part of the experience for the children of going to McDonald's now. You know what it's like when you're a child? You know, you're on a train or something. Dad, can I push the button to open the doors? Bit like that. And you see these little boys and little girls. Oh, Dad, can I press the ordering thing? You can see the little kids. They're being held up to the screens. Touch, touch, touch. Completely unaware that these screens are probably filthy, dirty and covered in bits of poo. Oh. And then you get your burger. Oh, you're putting pooey hands into your mouth. How disgusting is that? Oh. Awful. Absolutely awful. So we had that, got back in the car, came back home. I watched a bit of telly, prepared a few little bits and pieces for today's show, and here we are now. Good morning. There we are. That was my day yesterday. Russ, good morning to Russ Vernon. Morning, Russ. And Mark Whittle is loving the backdrop. Thank you, Mark. That has been up for a few weeks. Where have you been, dear? You know, how can you notice that now? Now, can you see these boxes here? I've got things that people have sent me. Oh, yes. Now, I have one box here, which is from Pittsburgh. So that's from Pittsburgh. Don't know if that's your one, Katie. Okay, that was the only box that was there so far. Now, there might well be another box comes perhaps just after Christmas. So I don't know if that's your one or Glenda's, to be honest. I think that's probably Glenda's one, so we'll have to see. What do you mean, Paul? What do you mean prepare for this show? I don't just sit here and start talking, you know. There's great preparation done here. Great preparation done here. Cash well, non-payers, wink, wink, dodging. You're joking, aren't you, Agent? There's no more cash payments. There's no more non-written down money anymore in this country. Everything is paid that you have to sign. You have to sign for everything these days. Absolutely. Not in the days, some of those mobile DJs, when they're doing weddings and all that, oh, it's all cash and that. Not, you're having a laugh, aren't you? Working for a company, non-tax pay, and you're having a laugh, aren't you? You should be... Is that what you do then? You do a lot of non-tax paying, do you? Don't judge everyone by yourself. Anyway, so there's another letter here. So this one has just arrived, just over on the text messaging. Let's hello to Peter in Woodalls. Peter says it's a bit quiet there. I don't know what's wrong with... There's a couple of people who can't hear it this morning, and yet everyone else can. So turn yours up, Peter. Turn yours up. Your computer's not turned up loud enough. It's not me. I know it's not me. Good morning to Maureen. Morning, Maureen in London. Lovely Maureen. And Simon Keane writes, if you're watching or listening to the Mr. Chop Chop show every day, raise your glass. If you're not, then raise your standards. I like that. I like that. Thank you, Simon. Raise your standards. Katie, the one I sent was in a bag. Okay, not here yet then. Nothing here yet, I'm afraid. However, I do have a letter here. Let's see who this is from, shall we? I hope there's none of that poisonous, what's that, Russian stuff in here. Let me just check it's not come from Russia. No, it's a British stamp. Oh, look! They even put the stamp on it. Maybe I should tear this off and reuse it somewhere. I know there's some of you do that, don't you? Hey? Right, Happy Christmas, it says. Oh. Nothing drop out? Oh, well. To Chris, hope you have a lovely Christmas and all the very best for a happy and healthy new year. Lots of love from Diane Jeb. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? And it's a little 3D card where the thing is. See, can you see that or not? Let me see if you can. Yeah, you can. You can see that that's like kind of stuck on there. So it's a 3D card. I love it. Thank you very much. Let's put that there. So nice of people to send cards and things. It really is very, very touched to be sending things like that. Now, I mentioned to you that my sister and niece had come into the caravan before I got here last night and had put a few decorations up and things like that, and it looks really nice. They haven't overdone it. A little bit of tinsel. There's a little a real tree, a real Christmas tree in the corner with some lights on it. Covered a little sparkly. The only thing is there's glitter on the carpet now. Bloody glitter. Glitter on the carpet. I ask you. Oh, it'll be there for years now, won't it? Glitter. Anyway, not only that, I noticed there were Christmas cards dotted all over the place. What I found strange was that the Christmas cards were all very, very similar. And these were dotted all around the caravan. And then I started reading them. And I can't believe the people that they are from. Too sleepy, lots of love, happy. Oh, you can't see that, one. Is that whited out? That's whited out a bit, isn't it? You can't see it. Okay. Too sleepy, lots of love from happy. Here we are. Mark says, what's better for the environment, real or fake trees? That's a blooming good question. I don't know. Because with a fake tree, you have it for years, don't you? I've got a little tree. I've got a little tree at my house that I've had for about 15 years. It comes out every year. Every year. To Blake, love Alexis Carrington. To Chris, love Linda Gray. Oh, you can't see these, can you? Oh, there. Yeah. Oh, you can if I do it. There we go. To Chris, love Linda Gray. Sue Ellen from Dallas, a personal friend of mine since I met her outside of Wimbledon Theatre about 3 years ago. Here we are. To TV's finest, lots of love from Tony Blackburn. Yeah, they all send cards to me, you know. I feel a bit naughty, really, because I don't send them cards, any of these people. I don't send them cards. I don't really do Christmas cards. To my sidekick, lots of love, Doctor Who. One moment, please. What else have we got here? To Chris, from your #1 fan, Barry Manilow, regular viewer to this programme. To the legend, that is Chris Reardon, love from the millennials. And they say, we hope we haven't offended you. To Chris, from all your oil and fan heaters. I've got a caravan full of oil and fan heaters in here. I tell you. The best heater I bought though was a couple of weeks ago. The gas heater, the portable gas heater is just fantastic. The heat that comes off of that is unbelievable. So pleased. If I'd have bought that one first of all, then I probably wouldn't have bought any of the others. That's true. That's true. To Mr. Grumpy, love offended viewer. Thank you, Mr. Offended. To our TV personality. Now, this one says it's love from Ray. Is that from you, Ray Reynolds? I don't get this one. Oh, I get it, yes. To my hero, love Rosie. Do you get it? Heroes, roses, get it? My favourite one's coming up. My favourite one is coming up. To TV person, love Bruce Forsyth. All Robins, look, all Robins. Too sexy, love Ronaldo, as in Cristiano Ronaldo, who we like very much. And here's my favourite one here. To my reason for living, love Dawn. Dawn is my ex-wife, who I haven't spoken to for about 30, how long ago now? 20, 22, 32, 42, 52, about 30 odd years now I haven't spoken to her. So there we are. Thanks very much to my ex-wife for sending such a wonderful card. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Adrian says, when I pay my DJ, I pay cash, as they all demand cash payments straight after the gig. But as I'm a loyal taxpayer myself, it pays all my taxes, every single penny. I always ask them a game of choice. They must show me their passport, driving licence and tax return letter, which I keep in my files because if I have to pay tax, so everyone else, and we should all pay it. Well, you would be done. I don't know how that works. I mean, if you are caught paying someone who doesn't pay, who you know is avoiding tax, I don't know how that works, actually. I do know that if I was not paying tax, then I would get done. So I don't know how it works for the payer. I'm not sure about that, Adrian. Did you get a box of? Did get a box of Rose's chocolates? Oh, I like Rose's chocolates. Oh yeah, I think I prefer those to Quality Street, actually. That's another thing we had around my sister's house. After we come back from Skegness, I popped into my sister's house for a cup of tea. And we watched a bit of television. There was the Asian comic. He was very, very funny. He's tall. He looks a bit odd. He's got glasses, and I think he's got a bit of a wonky eye. And he is absolutely hilarious. He's a very, very talented man. He had me laughing while we were watching that. Katie had a real Christmas tree growing up. Yes, real Christmas trees are beautiful, aren't they? My mate, he goes all out. They spend, him and his other half, they spend about £75 on a Christmas tree, my mate. Yeah, you got them from Lidl this year for about, I think Lidl were doing them for £20, weren't they? Something like that. Mark, how much money did you spend writing your own cards? Nothing. They're not my own cards, I beg your pardon. That's what my sister had arranged when I got here yesterday. She'd obviously been collecting all these cards from all the celebrities, although I'm not quite sure how she managed to get one from my ex-wife, but there we are. Hello to Christopher Ireland. Good morning, Christopher. I think you're right, still up in Scotland, aren't you? If you pay someone who isn't paying, then you become liable. Ah, there we go. Most ask for invoice with statement declaring they pay their £7. Yes, in actual fact, I come from an agent. When I work at Central Station, I come through an agent. I have to pay her commission. So every time you see me working at Central Station, I've paid an agent something to be able to work there. Okay? And then the bar itself, I have a little bit of paper to sign. So you've got this bit of paper and it says the amount, my home address and my name and date, a little signature, and you sign the bottom of that. So you can't get away with it. You know, there are no cash payments. It was certainly not where I am anyway. There we are. Adrian, you can get into trouble if you're paying a what's a bogus bill? How would you pay a bogus bill? I don't know. You can get into trouble if you're paying a bogus bill. You have to show that you have done reasonable checks because it can affect you. Specifically, you get a bill from them in each week because they might think it's you writing a fake bill and taking the money. Oh, I see what you mean. So a manager of a pub... Oh, really? So a manager of a pub could write, say, a bill to, say, Chris Reardon Discos, right? And then he could put that through his books and say he's paid me and keep the money when he hasn't paid me. Why would you want to do that? Did you think that? Don't know. Katie, I used to drag Christmas trees out the side of the highway to sell them on our horses. I don't think I've been on a horse for years. Years I haven't been on a horse. Now, Christmas is all about getting into it, sharing things. Family, to me. Christmas is family. It's not about giving presents. To me, it's not. Yes, of course, if you've got children and that, presents. But I think some people have really taken the piss out of the ears through presents. I really do. You know, giving out their demands of what they want. I understand if you're a child and all that, but certainly not if you're an adult. I mean, who the bloody hell do you think you are, demanding this, that and the other from people? It's so wrong. It's so wrong. To me, it's about turning up. The best present you could ever give anyone, I think, is turning up wherever they are. Happy Christmas. Maybe a little box of chocolates or something like that. You ain't going to go overboard by sort of, laptop computers and, I don't know, 65-inch. You see these people like Currys and that pushing this crap on the telly. Which, I mean, it's not all crap. If someone came round here with a 65-inch telly tomorrow morning, happy Christmas, I'd be over the moon. But I certainly wouldn't expect something like that. And I wouldn't ask for something. wouldn't ask for something like that. We've got to get away from this. Got to get away from this spending enormous sums of money on people at Christmas. It's just ridiculous. However, when you get a present, try and be a bit more bloody grateful. Some people are quite blunt. Now, I've told you over the last few weeks some of the worst presents you can buy. I don't think anyone wants socks. Okay? Or those... But I was sure, and I was wrong, apparently. According to my sister and my niece, I was incorrect in this. I said on the show, don't be buying people, going into Boots the Chemist or wherever, and buying a little box of, there's a soap, there's a bit of, hair gel, there's some shower gel, there's a flannel. Now that to me is not a Christmas present, or anything smelly like that. However, my sister and my niece told me, well, we'd be pleased to have something like that. So I was incorrect there, according to them. However, if you do get that pair of socks, that smelly thing, whatever, try and be a bit more bloody grateful. Don't make it look like you're disappointed, even if you are. Be a bit grateful that someone has taken the time and effort specially to purchase you something. Unlike this old bag in the Daily Mirror this morning. Each Christmas, it says it. May I just get my little specs on? 1 moment, please. Each Christmas, many people take part in Secret Santa, either at the office or with their friends. If you've never done it before, it essentially involves putting a bunch of names in a hat. Each person then picks a name, and then you anonymously buy a person for the gift. Anonymously buy a person. You anonymously buy the person a gift of your choice. It's a nice way to make sure that everyone gets a gift over the Christmas period. However, it can be rather difficult selecting the right gift for people, especially if you pick someone you don't know all that well. One person found this out the hard way after giving their colleague 2 presents. An unnamed engineer has shared a text exchange between themselves and a woman they got in Secret Santa. Screen grabs of the messages have since been posted on a site called Reddit, and users are shocked by them. The conversation starts with the woman thanking her Secret Santa for giving her chocolates and a blanket. Sounds a fair present to me, doesn't it? Doesn't that? Secret Santa, you don't really know the person that well, or maybe you do, but it doesn't matter. Secret Santa, it's just a bit of fun. So here come the tweets. Hi, thanks for the chocolates and a blanket. I really appreciate it. Reply, yeah, no problem. I actually have one of those blankets. They're super comfortable. So she replies, I love it. Then she replies, so I know this is kind of awkward, but the spending limit was $50. And I looked online and it seems that the blanket and chocolates only add up to $30. Do you think it's possible you could get me something else? My kids have been spending me up. Sorry? Then he replies, yeah, no problem. I could just give you $20 if you like. That way you can go and get yourself and the kids something nice for the holidays. How bloody rude is that? How rude! Her Secret Santa replies, revealing they also have one of the blankets and they're super comfortable. But then things start to get weird. The woman then admits she looked up the price of her presents online and couldn't help but notice that the total cost is less than the spending limit. Unimpressed by this, she asked her colleague, as I told you the tweets, to buy her another gift. Do you think it's possible that you can get something out? The colleague agrees and offers to give her $20 outright, but that's not enough to satisfy her. She then says, do you think it's possible you can get me this? And sends him a link on something on eBay. $120 tablet. Which he replies, $120 tablet. He then says, I think that's a bit over the $50 spending limit. And then she replies to that, I know, it's just that my kids have been spending me up on the wazoo. I don't know what the wazoo is. And it would make their day if mummy gave them something nice like this. Thanks, I appreciate it. How rude. She carries on and says, and I don't mean to be abrasive or anything, but you're an engineer, so you make quite a bit more money than I do. It goes on. I'd also just take 120 cash if that makes it easier for you. I think she's just having a joke, isn't it? So it goes on. He replies then, quite rightly, the spending limit was $50, so I'd be more than happy to give you $20 or something worth $20. I understand you have children, but I also have things I need to pay for, and unfortunately, $120 for a co-worker is a bit out of my budget. She then says, you're kidding me, right? You don't even have kids. What else would you spend your money on? And then he doesn't reply for 3 minutes. So she writes, now you're going to ignore me. Real nice of you during the holidays. And then she carries on. Honestly, don't know how you live with yourself. Disgusting. What planet are these on? And then she goes on, fine. Then she waits another 3 minutes and puts, fine, I'll just take the $20 cash, please. And then he replies to that, you can forget it. Thanks for the karma. And then she says, what? Oh, God. What planet are some people on? So there we are. Ungrateful. Really, really ungrateful woman. And I certainly wouldn't be giving her or offering her anything else. How can you even do that? Wrong. That's what that is. Wrong. So there we are. Good morning to Right Side Up. 'Twas the day before Christmas. It certainly was Right Side Up. Good morning to you. Katie says we had Santa driving around town for the kids. That's nice, isn't it? Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. Christopher Ireland hasn't done Christmas for years. He prefers the new year. Christmas has changed a lot and it's all about getting presents. Christopher, only if you allow it, my friend. Only if you allow it to be like that. I've stopped that. I've stopped it this year. I've been thinking about it for years. Buying presents just because you feel you should buy someone a present. No. You should only buy presents for people you absolutely want to buy presents from. I don't think anyone deserves a present. You've got to decide, who do you really, really want to buy a present for? And they're the only ones you go out and buy. Even if someone gets you something, it doesn't mean you have to give them something back. Don't ask people, what do you want? Because some of them are just outrageous with their demands. Absolutely outrageous. Ray says, dear Chris, please don't get me a drone for Christmas. I would prefer a chopper. It's a long time since you saw one of those, isn't it, Ray? Is that the one with the gear in the middle? The choppers, do you remember the gears? Hello to Livy. Good morning, Livy. Adrian, I was running bars and entertainment places. We had a turnover of 2 million VAT. So many people try to rip you off, for some people using fake VAT numbers. I don't have VAT. You have to be earning over a certain amount for that, don't you, Adrian? I don't have VAT. But have a good accountant. Check the numbers after some time. Yeah, I have an accountant. I send all my stuff. He's in Scotland, actually, my accountant. I've been with him for many years, and he's very good, very good. Right Side Up used to buy the wife clothes and spend big bucks. Size was right, colour was nice, but she always returned it, so now I buy her nothing. I don't blame you. How embarrassing. Oh, have you got... Can you imagine? I understand clothes. You were to buy someone some clothes or something like that. I understand the whole... the whole clothes, if you've given someone the wrong size, I get that. I do get that. But other gifts, I don't know. You know, if you were to buy someone a radio, for example, well, have you got the receipt? I'd like to exchange it. No. Rude. Clothes, yes, because you can get the size wrong. But other stuff, I think you should just be, oh, I've gone a bit yellow, haven't I? That's because the sun's just come out in front of me. And I've still got these yellow curtains up, although that should change soon, because I asked my sister to make me a pair of curtains for the studio, which will black the yellow. This may well be, today and tomorrow may well be, I don't know if they're done yet, but it might be the last day that you get to see me with a yellow, jaundiced looking face. Don't worry, my liver is still working. This is not liver failure. I might be able to do something about it. Hang on a minute. Let's try. Let's try and do something about that awful yellowness. I hate it myself. We're nearly finished now anyway, aren't we? What's the time? Look at the time, dear. Nearly finished. Hang on a minute. Let's get that yellow out. Try that. Oh, there we go. How's that? Is that a bit better? Yes, yeah. A bit less yellow. That'll do, won't it? That'll have to do, yeah. Be happy. Be happy, everyone. Be happy. Mark. Good day, Mark. Morning, Mark. In Australia, the £10 pom yippee. So glad you're there. Good morning, Mark. We're about to finish, I'm afraid, Mark. I will be here tomorrow morning. I'm hoping to be here tomorrow morning, Christmas morning, around about 9:30, okay? Good morning, Chris Bedwell. Chris Bedwell is in the house. He's put up his latest baking video. Well, come on. Get a link up there, Chris. Chop, dear. Don't worry about putting links on my pages. Or at least within the chat thing there. Come on, put a link up there. Merry Christmas to the lovely Chris Bedwell over there. He's a professional photographer. Adrian says, where's my present? I'm still waiting for a mug keyring and a new 85-inch TV. We saw one of those in Selfridges. Oh, yes. An 85-inch TV. Beautiful picture. Now, even if I had one in my house, that would just be too big. 85 inches. I've got a 65 in my house, and that's big enough. Here, in the car, I've got a really old 32-inch job here. It's quite old. It's not even a smart TV. It's got a couple of... it's not even HDMI, the Freeview. Although I've got a Freeview tuner box that I have had for a couple of years that was sitting in the attic at home doing nothing. And I brought it down to the caravan in the thought that I would be able to plug that in and it would work, and it doesn't. It's not picking anything up. So someone suggested I try an aerial booster. It might be, I don't know if it needs more kind of signal coming into it than the ordinary telly. So I'm going to go to B&Q when I finish a show and see if I can find a booster and just try that out and see if that fixes the problem. But I don't have a HD TV here, and if you've got a HD TV at your house and you haven't got one here, you blooming well notice the difference. I'll tell you that. It looks dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. It's funny, isn't it, really? Ray Reynolds has just seen Jeremy Corbyn's Christmas message on Sky News. He's a dead ringer for Catweasel. I love Catweasel. Da, 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 da. You know Carrot, he's in his 50s now, isn't he? He must be mid-50s, Carrot in Catweasel. Chris Bedwell, there you go. If you just click on that YouTube link there that Chris Bedwell sent those of you watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see his latest baking video. Baking with Chris. Oh, yes. What time will you be back on tomorrow? Probably around about this time. No, about an hour earlier than now. Okay, around about 9:15 in the morning. Paul, there we are. Paul is absolutely right. Buying women clothes for Christmas is a nightmare. I just go with her now. Yeah, it's probably the better way to do it, actually. All right. Oh, just a second. There's one from right side up there. I used to buy the wife clothes and spent big bucks. Size was right, colour was right, but she'll... Oh, sorry, I've read that already, haven't I? I'm repeating myself now. More repeats here than on the BBC, dear. That is saying something. All right, let's do today's birthdays. I'm going to try and get a swim in today if I can as well. Happy birthday today. Ah, there she is. The delightful Charlotte Rose Smith. A lovely, lovely lady. I can't believe you're only 29. Happy birthday to you, Charlotte. Have a lovely birthday on this Christmas Eve. All right, Charlotte Rose Smith. Good morning. Happy birthday. 54 years old today is Romeo Kieran. Good morning, Romeo. Happy birthday. And Bobby Floyd's birthday as well today. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, whatever you're doing today, have a wonderful time. Try and get into the spirit. Don't be too bloody miserable. And if you're not with us tomorrow morning, don't forget, whatever you get tomorrow for Christmas, look grateful. Look grateful. Thank you very much. Lots of hugs, lots of kisses. And then when everyone's gone, stick it on eBay. Have a nice Christmas Eve. and I'll see you again tomorrow morning on Christmas Day around about the same time. Thanks for watching and listening. Cheerio now.